Hello everyone, my name is Clutch, and welcome to Lucifer Mechanics Garage of drag, speed, and styrene customs fabrication.
Those gears straight out of hell. The front wheels never touch the ground, destroying everything that affects, making me rich for my sins. Welcome to the Lucifer's Mechanics Garage.
How's it going, everyone? This is Clutch coming at you with another edition of Lucifer Mechanics Garage. Today, before I headed out, I just wanted to make this video called Box Stock Detail Up Full Scratch Build Madness. I've been aiming to make it for the last 3-4 weeks. I think I posted an update video a couple weeks ago, and but you know what, guys? It's been so nice out here. It's been hard to sit at the bench or to make, to record anything, so I'm really taking advantage of it, because usually, it's already close to being July, and usually by this time here in South Central Kentucky, it's 100 degrees. Humidity is so high that it's hard to breathe, let alone, with me having a lung disease. I mean, I can't take the heat, because it just makes it so hard for me to breathe, the humidity. So it's been really nice to get out and enjoy the weather, to shoot my guns and hang out with my dogs and some friends and do some four wheeling and stuff. So it's been pretty good, So I've really been taking advantage of it. So I hope you guys can appreciate that. I was just sitting there, I just checked the mail, and I was just looking through some my favorite catalog, looking at some pliers that I want to order, and just checking that out. Excuse me. And then, of course, my favorite other favorite store, Harbor Freight. You get all them good cheap little knickknacks and stuff, that you get and everything. Before we get to everything, I just wanted to give a shout out to George over at VisionONE24. He sent me a card, a shop card, man. I tell you what, if any of you guys ain't subscribed to George's page, I'll put a link in the description in the bottom. And but man, he's a good, clean builder. Really nice. Does a lot of nice detail. His paint's right on. All his detail is right on. He builds a low, lean, sleek-looking vehicles. And I really enjoy his channel. So if you get a chance, go over and check him out. Thanks, brother. I appreciate this a whole bunch. I really do. So I'm trying to find a place where I can put some of these cards that I've been getting. I've only got 4 so far, but yeah, I appreciate it, brother. I really do. Well, what I wanted to get into is called Box Stock Detail Up Full Scratch Build Madness. And what brought this about is one day, me and the wife went to Hobby Lobby, and I picked up a model. Picked up this model right here. Well, let me get it out here. I picked up this right here. Okay, and the reason I bought this was because Brian over at Atomic Dog was going to throw a 48-hour build for his page. He throws a bunch of 48-hour builds and stuff. So I thought it'd give me a chance, an opportunity to build something besides cars. Because I never built nothing like this. I built one plane in my lifetime, one military plane, and I was really looking forward to it, but he had to cancel, life and everything. He does his own, he's his own employee, whatever you call it. So, he's been pretty busy, but he's supposed to have it in July and everything. But what started it was when I bought this, I took it to my son's house, and he said, I brought it upstairs, and we opened it up. And, he was just like, oh, man, that's cool, and everything. And he asked me what I was going to do with it, and I told him I was just going to, just put it together and just, weather it, use metallizers and stuff on it. And my wife started chuckling in the background, and my son, excuse me, my lungs is messing up on me. But my wife started chuckling in the background, and my son looks at her. He's like, "Well, what's funny?" And I knew what she was laughing about. She's like, "Son," she goes, "how long have you known your daddy?" And she's like, "Your daddy can't build nothing box stock." And she's right, because I've tried it. Do you remember the times when you was a kid growing up, whether it was the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and you used to go to the store and you'd buy a model that you liked, and you'd get some tester's glue, the old tube glue, and you grab you a couple bottles of paint and some kind of spray can or something, at the hardware store, and and you used to build, and you had fun. You didn't really care how it turned out. You just wanted to build it, and you built hundreds of them, and you just put them on your shelves. Excuse me, bad habit. Dip it, and you would build. You didn't worry about anything. You just built. We didn't have forums back then, and even back, if you wanted anybody to see your models besides your friends in your neighborhood, you'd have to take pictures and actually send them into to Scale Auto or something like that. But now in this world we live in today, with the forums and now YouTube and it's just going to keep getting more. Now people are no longer doing their posting videos, are going live. And we're living in a world where it's like everybody's like stepping up. Everybody has stepped up their game in modeling. Just about everybody. And but when I got into modeling myself, I just wanted it to be a hobby. Just something I can get into. Just fool with every once in a while. And just like everybody else, it just took off from there, and it turned into its own animal. And I never really built a box stock model. I've built a couple, but but I've only built like 30 cars since I've been in the hobby. Back in the hobby, I was actually started in 2000. I've been in it 17 years, but I took like a 5-year hiatus, here and there, in between. But I never give myself a chance to learn some of the basics, And that's kind of where we get into the box stock, detail up, and full scratch built madness. Because what I've done is I've built myself in a corner. And what I mean by that is, when I got into the hobby, what I started doing, and when I say this, I don't mean nothing by it, but when I first got into this hobby, right off the bat, I just started scratch building. And I get into, my favorite genres is like, stock cars, dirt, short track, dirt and asphalt, 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s drag cars, and that's what it was to, up until now, up until here recently. But here recently, I started getting more into the touring type cars, these real long, sleek looking lowriders and cruisers, with the 22s and the 19-inch rims and slammed to the ground and everything. And with the beautiful paint and the nice looking interior and everything everybody's doing. But I've deprived myself from doing that. Because all I ever did was when you build stock cars, or if you build drag cars like I build, they're just bare bones. I stripped the interior out. I never did do a lot of dash work. I'd always simulate. I'd just drill all the gauges out or whatnot, and put in aftermarket stuff. And all my interiors was usually just steel floorboards, or simulated aluminum interior, or something like that. And I've never really taught myself how to flock, or even even foiling. I have done some foiling, but I've never have done like a full-on foil job, like where you put on a real nice paint job and you sit there and you foil it and everything. To me, it's always easier just to sand all that down and just eliminate it, and either drill the holes out, make it look like it's been pulled off, or just just not drill the holes out, just make it look like it's you spot welded the holes and cleaned it up, just to give it that good long clean look. And I never did really take the time to really learn how to do that, and but I've deprived myself of doing all that. And especially since I've been here on YouTube watching you guys put down real nice paint jobs with airbrush and watching your foil work and your flocking and and so forth, and it really makes me think about where I've messed up in this hobby. And the whole premise of this video is for like the people who just started, who's getting in this hobby or is in it a couple years, or even some of the old timers that are like me who are into scratch building, but yet you find yourself sometimes burnt out. And you get burnout when you get a lot of projects going and you scratch build so much that it takes so long. I mean, it takes so long to build a model because it literally takes me about 6 to 8 months to build a model, because I like to take my time, make sure everything looks right, make sure everything is, because I use a lot of aftermarket parts, R&B motion and scale hardware and just a lot of aftermarket stuff. So I like to take my time, and it gets expensive, But what happens is when you scratch build so much, you get to a point to where it's hard to build box stock. And because you become like what they call a rivet counter, and that's not a good thing, because like I said, it does burn you out. Plus, what happens is when you build like I did, like when you do the stock cars and the full-on drag cars and everything, you deprive yourself from learning all the basics. So, for all you new guys out there who are just starting in the hobby, or if you've been in it for a couple years, my suggestion is to you guys, before you really want to get into the full-blown scratch building part of it, just beware. There's drawbacks from it, because what you want to do is you want to start off building models, okay? Build. I mean, build 20, 30 models. Don't go out and buy 150 models, because we'll get to that later. But just buy just buy you about 5 models, what you want to build, and then build them. Paint them, get you some flocking, learn how to put your flocking in, get you some foil, learn how to foil it, and, learn the techniques, try different glues and everything. There's a lot of different nice glues out there that you can get, that you can try, and epoxies and everything. And basically you learn from that. And then when you come into the detail part of it, you start experimenting with the detail part once you get all the paint and all the other basics figured out and how to do. And then when you get to the detail, the aftermarket parts, photo etching and everything, you've already got the other stuff in the bag. And then what I suggest is when you get that mastered, slowly work your way into fabrication in between the time of, when you get done, when you get into the part where you're coming into the, the photo etch and everything. Start scratch building slowly and start adding stuff, like battery trays or exhaust or, and stuff like that. And then slowly work your way into the full-blown fabrication part, if that's where you want to go. A lot of people spend their whole life modeling, and all they do is just wire a motor, and that's it. They just build the rest of the car stock. Some people go a little bit farther. They add a little bit more photo etch, and this and that, and that's it. They don't scratch build nothing else, and they just build, what's in the box. But what happens is sometimes you just want to step beyond that. And I'm just saying, it's just, the whole premise of this video is don't deprive yourself from all the good knowledgeable stuff that you truly need to learn. before you step into, like, before you take a big leap into scratch building. Because like I said, what happens is you deprive yourself from all the good stuff, the painting, the flocking, the foil, and learn how to put your windows in, and learn how to put your aftermarket badges on, for photo etch from Model Car Garage and stuff. Because you use different glues, or epoxies or white glue or whatnot to put that stuff on. And you really need to master that, because if you just do like I did and think, oh, I'm just going to build stock cars, I'm just going to build full-on drag cars, some of you might stick to that thing the rest of your life. But a lot of people, like me, I thought that I was just going to build stock cars, drag cars, just be done with it. But, like everything else, I change, But what happens is I've spent the last 17 years, or the last 12 years, I guess, because I took a little hiatuses, I've deprived myself from learning that stuff. And I regret it, and I've just wasted a lot of time. When right now I could be like, okay, I'm gonna build me a nice looking, long, sleek car, and and everything. But now what it is I do all the scratch building and everything, and I can't go back, and now I got to retrain myself not retrain myself, or just learn how to put flocking in, do foil, and so forth. So walk, crawl, fly is the best way I think to do it. And don't build yourself into a corner just by starting off with scratch building, because like I said, what happens is you get to the point where you just burn yourself out, because when you take so long to build a model, then you're like, all right, I'll put this one away, then I'll just pull another one out and I'll build it too, And then before you know it, you wind up with 50 projects laid on the shelf, and then you get overwhelmed, and then you get burnt out. And it's like, oh man, I don't want to, what am I going to do? I ain't never going to get all these projects done, and I just can't get nowhere. And it's like, oh, So don't put yourself in that shape, And I know some of you guys, this video, they're just like, what are you talking about, But like I said, this is mainly for a lot of the new guys, out there that's been building for, just started or building for a couple of years, that's really want to step up their game. And there's nothing wrong with stepping up your game. Just if you just want to build stock cars and drag cars and everything, that's cool. But build other cars also. Don't do like I did, just stick to one thing and deprive yourself of building all the, learn how to do all the other stuff, And also, don't build yourself to a point to where you get so many projects to where you get burnt out. That's basically what I got to say. So, but yeah, that's basically about it. There's going to be, I just wanted to mention, which therefore all this falls back on, there's going to be some changes in the shop coming up. What I'm going to do is we're still going to stick to the same platform here in the shop. We're still going to build, we're still going to scratch build and everything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to learn how to do all this other stuff. So I'm going to build a bunch of curve sides and start building some box stock models. Maybe change the motor, the rear end or something like that, and still use R&B motion bolts and everything that I usually do. But not try to take 6-7 months to build a car. Maybe take a couple months to build a car, or even a month. I'm going to try to work myself down to a month to build a car. But we're going to pull a model out. And we're going to, I ain't picked the one I want to pull out yet, but here in the next week or so, I'm going to pick a model that I want to build, and we're going to pull it out, and we're going to work on it. And we're not going to work on chassis or anything like that. We might do a few modifications here and there, but basically it's going to be somewhat box stock, with some photo etch and stuff like that, some aftermarket parts. But we're not going to get crazy on it. We're not going to open the doors of the trunk or anything like that, and we're just going to have fun. And I got a bunch of screw bottoms that I bought, some Johann, some AMTs. I've invested a lot in, and a lot of Really nice looking put together kits, you know, that I got to pull apart and everything, and some new stuff. You know, that basically I'm just going to build curve sides, you know, slam them to the ground, put some Z wheels on them, and just do the interior, and, you know, do the body, put nice paint jobs on them, you know, and do full on foil work. You know, put flocking in it, and you know, I'm good with the airbrush when it comes to, like, you know, doing all my metallizers and smaller scale stuff, but I never airbrushed a body before, so I'm really wanting to get into that. So that's going to be pretty interesting in the shop, learning how to do that. I'm going to invest in a better, I mean, I've got a couple, you know, Poshes that I bought, you know, I've had for a while that I've been using, but I really want to invest in, you know, getting me something like a really nice airbrush so I can put down some real nice paint on a body, and try some different paints and stuff. You know, I've been really interested in the gravity paint thing that's going on. I really like the way they look, and they look like they're really easy to use. So, you know, I'm going to try to play around with that. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go outside, get outdoors, and enjoy this day. And we're going to get back into the shop here in the next week and get things going, and you know, get things back to where we was at when we first started. Like I said, it's just been really hard to get back into the build mode when it's so nice outside, you know. So I just hope you guys can appreciate it. We're going to catch up on everybody's posts. You know, I bring my phone with me, and I see every day, you know, there's always something popping up with somebody's page. But it's so hard to, like, stop what you're doing. And I've tried it, you know, to watch somebody's video when you're in the middle of, you know, in the woods or whatever, you know, or playing with your dogs or talking to people to comment or anything. So I do try to catch what you guys are doing and stuff, and we will get caught up. And we are going to get going back in the shop here within the next week, because it's supposed to turn off hot here again. It's already starting to warm up in the evening, so usually I got to retreat back to the house by 2, 3 o'clock. And by then I'm so wore out, you know. I usually just make some dinner for the wife when she gets home, and then we just chill out. And, you know, she's been getting into the art thing, so I draw with her a little bit, and then we go to bed, you know, at 8 o'clock. So, but we're going to get things back to going, because like I said, I'm going to retreat here in the house soon, and we're going to get it where we need to be. So, so that's about it, everyone, before I keep rambling on like I always do, you know, make no nonsense. But just remember, box stock, detail up, then you can work your way into full scratch build madness, because you don't want to build yourself in the corner. You don't want to get to the point to where you scratch build so much that you don't want to build nothing else, and then you consume yourself with it, and then you burn yourself out. Don't do that, please, because this is a fun hobby. And you know, it's fun. It's, you know, you want to get back to the basics when you was a kid, you know, back to building again. So, but anyway, everybody, love your family, love your pets, love your friends, build smart, build efficient. We'll talk to you later, brothers and sisters. Bye.
The strip for once-in-a-lifetime drag. We have a very special race for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We have Lucifer driving his full nitro funny car Camaro, ready to shred tires in competition at hellish speed. Lucifer will be holding grudge matches all night, gambling for souls. Don't fret, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing will slow down his car, not even after crashes. Gashes are being completely mangled. All thanks to Lucifer's mechanic. He can fix it all. It won't rest until Lucifer is reigning champion.